Okay, confession time. I've lived in several different countries in Europe. And then when I moved to Spain, I realised something really quick. Yes, this is Europe, but it doesn't feel like Europe. It's like Europe went on holiday, got a tan, learnt flamenco and just forgot all the rules. In today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly why Spain feels so different and why so many people when they come here simply don't want to leave. Okay, first up, let's talk time, because time here in Spain simply works differently to many European countries. So yes, Spain is aligned geographically with the UK, but here we live on Central European time. So what that means is in the summer, we typically have sunsets around 9:30, 10 p.m. Lunch is between 2 and 4 in the afternoon. And then dinner, well, that's really anywhere between 9 and 11 p.m. in the evening. Now, in most of Europe, at 10 p.m, people are already starting to fall asleep. Whereas here in Spain at 10 p.m, you've got parents, grandparents, children, friends, all out socialising. Now, I remember my first week here, I was still working on Northern European time. I was looking to have my dinner at 6:30 in the evening. Looking a bit like a confused tourist, I suppose. But it's amazing because by the third month, somebody suggesting that we have dinner at 8:30 in the evening felt a little bit early. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is that life revolves around daylight and socialising, not the clock. Here it's less rush and more life. And then there's the social life in Spain. Now, Spain has one of the highest life expectancy rates throughout the whole of Europe, and it's not by accident. Life here happens in the streets, in the plazas, in the terraces, on the paseo, or even just out having an evening stroll. In Northern Europe, making plans is like launching a NASA mission. You know, calendars have to be checked, coordinated schedules and emotional preparation. But in Spain, someone simply says something like, tomamos algo, and then 2 minutes later, you've got olives and a beer in your hand. Social interaction here isn't an event, it's just life. You know, you literally stumble into it, even if you're just out buying bread. Next is the noise. Now, Spain is loud, and when I say loud, I mean really loud, always loud. Fireworks, festivals, parties that start at random times, even at 1 a.m. in the morning. But the funny thing is, after you've lived here for as many years as I have, you don't complain about the noise. When you hear something, for example, music starting in the distance at midnight, I just actually start asking myself, I wonder what's being celebrated. It could be a random Tuesday and all of a sudden there'll be 20 fireworks that are just randomly let off. No explanation, it's just how Spain is. Silence here, I suppose, is probably suspicious, and if there is any silence, it's either because someone's either fallen asleep or they're plotting the next fiesta. Another thing about Spain that makes it so different is the bureaucracy. It's famous for it. Spain is probably the most famous place in the whole of Europe for it. They love paperwork, multiple offices, multiple appointments that are weeks away. To get a simple document, to put it into some context, you need a copy of a document that you didn't even know existed, stamped by someone who's on maternity leave. And mañana doesn't necessarily mean tomorrow, it just means not today. So I think when you're here in Spain living, you've got two choices. You can either get rage, which is not going to help you, or you can just adapt. And I personally think adapting is the easier and better and relaxing way to handle it. Next has to be the food, and oh, Spain has got it so right. Mediterranean diet, fresh produce, regional diversity even, Basque, Andalusian, Catalan, every single tomato in every single region tastes like it went to finishing school. And olive oil here, don't even get me started on that. It is incredible. It's not just for cooking. Here in Spain, olive oil is like wine, it's worshipped. Now, another way you'll know how important food here is, if you go into any bar between 2 and 4 p.m. when it's lunchtime, it's absolutely going to be full. People have got their priorities right. So meals here aren't just fuel, they're also that social anchor. Okay, and this next one is a firm favourite of mine, and that is that work here in Spain is not your identity. Spain works hard, don't get me wrong, it works very hard. but life balance is king. In some countries, in fact, in most Northern European countries, the first question that you'll normally get asked when you meet someone is, what do you do? But in Spain, it's the complete opposite. They'll say, where are you from and have you eaten? Ask them about LinkedIn and they'll say, what's that? Life here in Spain is far more important than a career. People here work to live. They don't live to work, and they certainly don't allow their identity to be ruled by what they do for a living. Okay, so we couldn't talk about Spain without mentioning the weather, right? Because here we have around 320 days of sunshine a year. And it's basically a guaranteed outdoor lifestyle. Now, here you'll find that if the sun is still out at 8 p.m, which it normally is, nobody's going to go home. Vitamin D here isn't a supplement, it's a lifestyle. And the other interesting thing you'll find as well is that people here, their mood is just so different to, say, that of Northern Europe. People are happy. So the sun automatically improves people's mood, their senses, and just their enjoyment of life. Okay, another thing that I absolutely love about Spain is that tradition is still alive, and why so many countries in Europe are losing their traditions and their cultures. Spain isn't allowing that to happen. Yes, there are a few people protesting that things are changing, but its core traditions are still very much intact. And that's something that I truly love about Spain. You know, it's still got its strong regional identities, and these traditions, they're not for tourists, it's for them. But if you happen to be invited or you stumble across them, you will literally stand there open mouthed at how proud they are of their traditions. So traditions here, it's not nostalgic, it's alive. And finally is how emotional Spain is. Spain is super emotional. Expressive communication, what I mean by that is hugs, kisses, loud conversations. In actual fact, if you don't really know how things work here, sometimes you might think somebody is arguing and they're just simply ordering a coffee. Hand gestures here are almost a second language, and volume equals enthusiasm, not aggression. And another thing that I specifically love about Spain is that you just feel included immediately. It's such a warm, welcoming, emotional country, and I love that about it. So to conclude, why does Spain feel different? Well, it's not just the sun, food and fiestas. Spain prioritises people, presence, community and living now. And once you adapt, to go back to living by Northern European rules, I just don't think it would be possible. If you move here, you will definitely find that you move slower, you're more social, you're certainly less stressed and you feel more alive. So Spain doesn't just feel different, it makes you different. And honestly, that's why so many people, when they arrive in Spain, never want to leave. Anyway guys, I'm going to wrap it up, but thank you so much for joining me today. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a like and a hype. And also, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free to do it, won't cost you a penny, but it really helps this small channel to continue to grow. Anyway guys, nos vemos en el próximo. Adiós.